Hello my crafty friends and welcome to my channel, Cut, Glue, Relax. My name is Mary and I'm very happy to be with you tonight. I am working on my hidden paper clips. This is the fourth one in the series. This is what I call the original. It's the one that is pretty much the most basic out of all of them, but just because it's basic does not mean by any stretch of the imagination that it's not just as interesting as the rest of them. I really like these paper clips because you can make a whole bunch of blank ones up and just leave them in a little basket, and when you're putting something together you can grab a handful of them to attach something to the page. Or if you want to put like a small decoration on and you don't want to make it permanent, you can always put it on the paper clip. It's a folded paper clip, which means that you take the paper clip and you wrap it around, you fold it around. And there's like a little gluing going on and stuff like that, but that's just the basic one. That's a large paper clip, and then you can do it with smaller paper clips. This is a smaller one. You don't have to do it with coffee paper. You can do it with, this is a digital that I did, and I rounded out the corners. This is cardstock that I used. This is just a scrap that was laying on the desk. It's supposed to be a fence, but I was able to wrap it quite successfully. And this one that is attached to my directions is a scrapbooking paper. So you can use any type of paper as long as it bends and wraps around. So let's see what else we can do with this. Let's get out some paper clips. My old yogurt container. I decorated it with old book pages. And I want to get out some big, so I'm not using a safety pin. Not using that. I have all these different paper clips because I was learning how to make them, and I originally had got them at the Dollar Tree, and that's what this is, a Dollar Tree one, and this is a Dollar Tree one. And then I ordered some, I have them in here, ordered some, yeah, I think it's this one. I had ordered some from Amazon, and they were taking forever to come in, and I couldn't figure out why. And then after a couple days, I went and looked, and I had ordered them for some reason through Amazon United Kingdom, and they were coming from Germany. And those paper clips are less than, yeah, I think they're less than an inch long, so I really don't use them. And then these are paper clips that I went and purchased at Staples. I just gave up. I was like, you know, I'm just going to go Staples. At least I know what I'm getting. So just get out any size paper clips that you have. I don't like using the covered ones because it just seems like they're too thick. I like using the metal ones. And you know what, before we do that, here, let me put these in this little container. We discussed what paper we're going to use, and let's figure out how to cut it. Now, if you're using 8.5 by 11, and that's what I use most of the time because I have a copier and a copier printer, and so what I do is I use a lot more digitals than I did in the past, and I didn't have a printer, so I didn't have digitals. I didn't use them, and I really like using digitals. It's very fun. You can take and manipulate them. With my printer, I've taken fabric and copied it to make paper, and it's like a very unusual design. I have taken, here's an example. I really like, I was watching a creator, and they had something called industrial relic tags. They had a whole sheet of them. I don't know where it is. It's probably a Tim Holtz thing because I don't buy anything from Tim Holtz. It's I can just find other things cheaper. I like a lot of his ideas, though. Let me tell you that the man is a genius when it comes to this. So these I really like these. These are by PinkMonachPrints, and it's called Black and White Tags. And I think it was a little bit over $2. So I invested in them, but I wanted them bigger. I wanted them, so that's the smaller ones, and then this is the bigger ones, but I wanted them a little bit bigger than that. So, oh, that's why. Where's the original? Let me see if I can find the original one. Here's the original one. This is what I ordered. This is what I purchased. See, this is the original size that the big ones were. And you can see that the big ones were here. And these little baby ones are just too little baby for me. So what I did is I took the original and I enlarged it. I wrote notes to myself on it. I enlarged it the first time by 120%. Here it is. This is what it gave me after I enlarged it, 120%. They're a little bit bigger, okay? And then I took that 120% and I increased it by 125. So as you can see, we're getting a little bit bigger, okay? The smaller ones are almost the size as the bigger ones. And I'm like, okay, well, that's nice. But let me see what else I can do. So this is my final one. Do not cut. This is the one I'm keeping. And this is 125. Then I did it 120. Then I did it 125. And then I did it 110 because I didn't want it quite as big. And this was the result. And I really liked it. So that's the one I'm keeping. But as I enlarged it, this became very light with these lines. I don't know if you can see that. So what I did is I darkened it, and this is what I ended up with. And I put it on cardstock because I'm going to cut them out and I want to use them on things. I mean, the paper would be nice too, but I really want the cardstock for these particular little tags. And so then I got my crocodile, and I used the 3/8 hole, and I punched the hole in it, and then I put in eyelets. I think they're the 4-point or the 4mm. They're ones that I bought off of Amazon. I have a whole bunch of these eyelets because I couldn't figure out which ones fit because they sell them in mm, and the crocodile has inches on it. So I was, perplexed, but I kept working at it, and they really didn't cost that much, maybe $7 or $8 a bag. But I have like 3 or 4 bags that I won't be using. But one of mine came in like a kit, and it has like a little hammer and a tool that you can do it manually. So if I get desperate, I'll do it that way. If I want the bigger holes, I think they were the 6mm holes. But I really like these. And I like putting things like this on these bulb pins, which I am almost out of bulb pins. I'm glad I found this one because I was looking for them the other day and I couldn't find them. And there we go. And I'd probably put a couple seed beads on it just to give it that little sound. But I really like that. So let's get back to cutting the paper out. So what I've been doing for my blanks is I have been using dyed coffee paper. And I dyed some coffee this summer and it came out beautiful. It was nice and dark and beautiful. I dyed some this winter, in January actually, and this is this is what I got. I used a squirt bottle, and I put in I used twice the amount of coffee grounds to brew the coffee, and then I also put in some instant espresso that I got at the Dollar Tree. The same thing I used on this darker one, and I think it's because I didn't put them in the sun. I just put them in front of the heating vent in order to dry them, and they didn't come out very dark. But I have these. And what I do in my house is, if you notice that this has got writing on it, but as you can tell, if you look really close, it is all backwards, because I'm not going to put it to where you can read it. These are all papers that come in the house. I go through all of our mail, and anything that I find that has a blank on the back, I dye it. And as you can tell, this one the ink wasn't that dark, so it looks like I went, even though this transferred over from a different page, it's not transferring from the other side. Now this one's transferring for the other side, but what I do is I just use it backwards. That's what I do. It's very hard for people to read it backwards. And then this was one that I wanted to try. This is graph paper that I did. I'm waiting for summer to come. I bought a whole lot of those. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me let the clock chime. It's 1 o'clock. It won't be very long. There you go. 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay. I'm filming right now because I filmed earlier this afternoon and I made like 3 mistakes that I just couldn't live with. So I'm trying to clean up the my video for you guys. Okay, so what you do is I'm using digitals, and you start with the 8.5 by 11, and you put the 11-inch against the top, and you're cutting out every 1.5 inches. Now, you don't have to do 1.5 inches. That's just a consensus that I have seen with a lot of creators. I think the inch is a little bit too small for some of the stickers that are out there. And basically you can just take a cluster and turn them into clusters and put them on your page. Also, I always start cutting from the middle of the page because I don't like catching the ends. Okay, that's the first one, and it was 9.5. So then we go to 8. And we'll cut this in the middle, down, go up. Okay, also one of the main reasons why I'm redoing this video is because I guess the thing wasn't sharp, even though I tried sharpening it and just kept ripping my papers. And I'm like, oh, it must just be the coffee dyed papers. But then it ripped some stock paper. I'm like, okay, time to dig out a new blade for it. Okay, now I'm going to go to 6.5. I'm hoping you can see this. Let me move this up a little bit to 6.5. Start with the middle, go up and down. Okay, and then after 6.5, we go to 5. Okay, then after 5, we go to 3.5. Now I've done this like 4 or 5 times, if not more today. You think I would have memorized or remembered the measurements a little bit better, but no. Okay, and that was the 3.5. So then we go to the 2. Okay. And then we go to the 1.5. We'll flip it around and we'll go to 1.5. And we'll cut that last 1/2 inch off. Okay, and then you just take this and put it in your scraps. A lot of people will print on that. They'll put words. They'll just stamp anything on it, put numbers, and then you can use it as a trim on something, or you can just like rip it up and put it onto a cluster. There's a lot of things for that coffee paper that you worked hard to dye, or the avocado paper that you worked hard to dye, or the cabbage paper that you worked hard to dye, or the onion skin paper. That's the only one I haven't done yet, is the onion skin, and I've been saving up onion skins all winter long to do it. Okay, hold on a minute, please. Thank you. I just had to go get a chair because my back was bothering me. Okay, now we're going to put these together. Let me get out the double-sided tape, and let's start with a large one. And you want the side exposed. Want the side exposed to be on the outside. So you can just put the. What I do is I just put all the paper clips at the end, and then I tape them all down. I try to do it like a little assembly line. And we're going to cut this. Has everybody else been hot with the weather? We've been 90 degrees for the past 2 days, and it's very unusual for Delaware. I mean, it's great for getting the seeds to start growing, but I'm just not very good with the heat. Tomorrow it's supposed to rain in the afternoon, and the temperature's only going to be in the 80s, which is handy, and then after that it's going to be back in the 60s. We can turn the air conditioner off. Okay, so we have our tape. We're going to make a series of folds. Okay, and the first one is you're going up. You're going to try to line it up as best as you can. Okay, you can always trim it back later if you don't get it all the way up. And then you're going to flip it around. 1, 2, 3. And what you want to do with this one is you want to come down a couple millimeters. I'm going to trim that tail off. I don't like my tail that long. I like to have it like between 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch long. And I like to come down 2 millimeters or so, because what happens is this is the width of this, because what's happening is it's going to slide up in, and it's going to hit that metal. And you're going to shimmy it in there. Shimmy, 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 shimmy it in there, and try to get it as even as possible. And there we have it. It is hidden paper clip. Now we have the tape on the inside holding the paper clip in place, but I like to get these edges closed. So I'm going to take some Aleene's. It's the one I grabbed. I'm sorry if I'm shaking the table. I'm going to go in here about 1/4 inch and put a seam in. I don't want to compromise the paper clip and accidentally glue it shut. And so we're going to do that 4 times altogether. I'm going to do it 2 times on the long, and what I'm doing is I'm just going into this first piece. Okay, you don't even have to do it a lot of glue. You just need a couple drips, right? Okay, and then even though we have that tape on there, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go in this first outside paper and try real hard not to get any in here, because this is where the paper clip is, because you still want it to paper clip closed. And then this side is ripped, but we'll still give it a little bit of glue to hold it down. And let's see, here's something right here. If you look, it still works. It's beautiful. Okay. See, this one I didn't. See how it looks all floppy and loose and not tight like this one. That's because it didn't get glued. We'll do this. And I'm going to do it on this side also. Right in here, about 1/4 of an inch down, and then the same thing on this side, about 1/4 of an inch down. And you don't even need a lot of glue, just a little bit. Oh, and look, see it's leaking out. I'm trying to prevent that because I don't want them to glue together. I just want them to glue shut. Okay, well, I guess I didn't put it up high enough. Let me do this one again. Oops. Let me do that side again too. Just a little bit higher. Now, when it comes to working with the 12 by 12 papers, what I normally do with mine 12 by 12s, I normally cut them into 12 by 6s, and that's what I work with. So I'm going to get some paper. This is just regular scrapbooking paper. That's 12 by 6s, and here's some 6 by 6s. I've already whacked them in half. And I'm just going to take this and cut my 1.5 inch off of it. How many paper do I have here? I have 4.5 inches. So if I want it to be 1.5 inches, this has to be at the 3. Can you see that? I'm going to line that up. And okay, and then 3. I'm going to put the 2.5. There's my, oh, duh, I'm silly. 3 inches divided by 2 is 1.5. So just doing that. So I have them. This I bought for $1.91 at the thrift store across the street from my house. I didn't live here then. I bought this in 2004. It's one of the things I bought after I became disabled. And I love it. It has never gotten dull. This Fiskars, it's never gotten dull. It still works. This comes out if I want it to. It goes back in. It still has the measures. I mean, it's a little beat up because it's old as heck, but I really like this. It's my friend. And when I go places, and I have to, see, this is what the other trimmer did earlier. One main reason why I'm re-filming this. When I go places, I take that little Fiskars cutter trimmer with me wherever I go. I love it. Okay, since this is a smaller piece of paper, I'm going to use one of the 2 smaller ones. I did use this one to make that other oh, it's floating around here somewhere. That other, to make this one, I used the smaller one, so I'm going to use like the medium-sized paper clip. And we'll start this. We put the short side on the inside. I'm going to line it up in the middle. I have to keep peeking up. I'm sitting down and I can barely see the screen. Oh, but my back is saying thank you. Thank you, Mary. A little piece of tape. We'll do that side. And this doesn't matter. I can, with this little bit of tape that's over, it just gets folded in with the rest. And we got this side. And this paper that I pulled out is just old Michael's paper pads that were 12 by 12. My friend Rosalia found them in her crafting area after we started doing some junk journaling, and she was so nice. She had found 3 pads, and each one had 3 of each design, and she went through each pad and gave me 60 sheets of paper. I just love her. The generosity of people just amazes me at times. I mean, for so many years I was a hermit, and I'm so glad that I was able to come out. Okay, this is where we start counting. We're going to go 1 fold and 2 folds. 3 folds, and we're going to come back and we're going to trim this down. I do this wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, that's right. And we're going to come around and we're going to take this, make sure there's enough allowance for the metal of the top of the paper clip, so we're going to fold it down an extra couple millimeters. Try to get that even. And then we're going to shimmy it in there. Just shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Puffs. Shimmy, shimmy. Come on. Work with me. Work with me. There we go. Once you get that little piece to open up, it goes right in. And still trying to keep those edges nice and straight. Like I said, you can always trim them down later. I'm going to have to get them to be not perfect, but neater looking. And then we'll go and we'll glue 1/4 of an inch down. You see in there, I'm trying to hold it to where you can peek in there with me. Just a little bit of glue and a little bit on this one. Okay, that's 1. I'm doing this so that the excess can squeeze onto my finger instead of the other paper, because then it would be closed and it wouldn't work. Okay, the same thing here. And then we're going to do the little side. Pop that open. A little bit of squeeze. Put a small line of glue in there. I got these squeeze bottles at the Dollar General, and they're a lot easier. I must have bought 5 or 6 different kinds of bottles. Some off of Shein, some off Temu. Not Shein. I was using Alibaba. Some at Alibaba, some off of Temu, and some off of Amazon. And it's just to squeeze them it just wasn't working. So I got these They have a bigger hole, but it doesn't matter. I like them. They hold a decent amount of glue at one time, and I can squeeze them in. Okay, and that's the paper clip. Here's the other one I did earlier. Oh look, it's all wonky. It's wider on this end than that end. I didn't even notice that. Oh well. Oh, sorry. Did not mean to do that. Let me stand up. There we go. I had decorated some earlier. Just two. Where are they? Okay, this one was done out of digital paper, so it's just a copy paper. I bought Epson copy paper because I was finding, I found a ream in my desk that must have been from when my kids were in high school about 8 or 9 years ago. And the paper was really thin, and I didn't like it. So what I did is where's that other paper clip I decorated? I was using it, but it's just too thin. So I finally bought some Epson paper off of Amazon, and oh boy, do I like it a lot better. It's got a better feel to my fingers. It holds the creases a lot better. Okay, I don't know what happened to the other paper clip that I had that I decorated, but I have this one. And this is just some, a tag that I got at a not a yard sale, bazaar. And the lady had a whole bowl of them, $1 a pack. At the end, she just gave me a handful. And I really like them. I pull them out every once in a while. And then I did a couple stickers on this side and a piece of washi tape, you know. And then I wanted to decorate one of them with these. These are from PinkMonachPrints. I think it was a free one that a free thing of fussy-cuts that we got. When you buy them, they give you free ones. And here is, I know I have an older, here's one. Here's one of the original ones that I first did last summer. And you see how the top is open right there? Because the person said, cut it and turn it into W's. And then, but I don't like that peeking out. I don't like it peeking out of my other hidden ones. The other hidden ones, I'll notch it and sink it in a little bit. But yeah, I like this way a lot better. Like I said, I didn't create it, but I did give it a little bit more of me. This is one of the ones where I was practicing how to do it. Because if you see, it's cut evenly right here too. Because I was wrapping it around the big piece instead of the little piece. So yeah, I found a way of doing it that was a lot easier for me. And I'm just going to take butterfly. I'll take this one. And I'm just going to glue him down. Actually, I'm just going to glue a little bit on here. Afraid to knock the camera. There's just a little bit of Aleene's glue. There you go. You notice I didn't distress anything. I really didn't think about it. Sometimes I distress, sometimes I don't. And I have a little box of number stickers. These are washi stickers that no, they're not washi, they're just regular stickers that I had gotten from Temu. Nice little ones that you can stick on little things like this. What do we have? What do I want? I want this one. I like that. There's a fancy looking one. We'll use the fancy looking one. I like that one a lot. I'll just shove these back in here. I keep these over here in case I need to stick a sticker on something. It's really handy. And they always put so much extra white on these stickers. So let's just trim it down a little bit. Trim, trim, trim. If you were following along with my videos, I sent out my bunnies and blossoms swap. I'm very happy to have gotten that completed. That was fun. That was very creative. I have a lot of chickies and eggs and sheep and everything else, and I have very little bunnies and I thought I had more than I did, so I ended up having to make a lot of ephemera myself to put into the swap, and I hope whoever my partner is, they enjoy using it. Of course, I put in some hidden paper clips. Come on, let's go. Here you go. I'm just gonna plant. I like it better like this. I don't know what the difference is. I just like this one better. Plant it. It's not exactly even. I'm fine with that. Well, that'll do for now. But I have another one. I need to get one of my journals that I'm working on and just leave it over here, or a book or something, so that I can demonstrate when I'm done. See, you can put that there. You don't like it there? You can put it here. You don't like that at all? And we'll just put the number right there. Or if you want to hold something down onto the page, you do it that way too. I love hidden paper clips. They just give so much to junk journaling, and I love it when everyone manipulates these. I have some where I put circles. I took and I twisted that end, and I put charms in them. And so when you put them on, you'll have a charm on that page and a charm on each page. Charm on this page and a charm on this page. I really like that. I think that's really cute. And on Facebook, there's a couple of creators that have Facebook groups just dedicated to paper clips. There's just a great love of paper clips. Well, that's what I have to. I think I covered everything that I wanted to talk about for this particular paper clip and how to work it. Like I said, it's the OG wrapped paper clip. I have all these extras. I'm gonna clean up my filming area, and I'm gonna go upstairs and watch some TV and relax, so that I can get these done, and I can put them over in my ephemera bin where I keep everything. And I want to say thank you for watching. If you could please subscribe, like, and leave me a smiley face in the comment section. It's really easy. A smiley face is just a colon. Oh, that one doesn't work, of course. It's just an end parentheses. And I appreciate it so much. I want to say thank you for watching. Take care. Be the best person you can. Thank you. Bye. And an end parentheses. And I appreciate it so much. I want to say thank you for watching. Take care. Be the best person you can. Thank you. Bye.